The AFP announced that United Nations Disengagement Observer Force Commander Lieutenant General Iqbal Singha has rejected the resignation of his Filipino Chief of Staff Colonel James Ezra Enriquez. Instead, the Indian commander has placed Enriquez on administrative leave until the repatriation of the 331-strong Filipino contingent in the Golan Heights. More from Arra Perez.
UNDOF Lieutenant General Iqbal Singha did not accept the resignation of Colonel James Ezra Enriquez. Instead, Enriquez was placed under administrative leave until the end of the tour of duty of the Filipino peacekeepers. Lieutenant Colonel Ramon Zagala of the AFP Chief Public Affairs Office said Enriquez's refusal to abide by the orders of Singh led to the resignation of the UNDOF Chief of Staff. Enriquez's designation is the third highest post in the UNDOF.
He defied the order of the force commander because of the differences in handling the standoff of position 68. We have to look at the mission of UNDOF. The mission of UNDOF is the separation of Israel and Syria. That's their mission. Also, to ensure the safety of all peacekeepers that are in that mission area. And as Chief of Staff of UNDOF, Colonel Enriquez looked after the safety and security of members of UNDOF. And in this case, the 40 members of Filipino peacekeepers that were at the standoff in position 68. So, he was just doing his mandate.
Zagala contested that since the United Nations handpicks the UNDOF commander and chief of staff, it is still questionable if Singha is in the position to place Enriquez under administrative duty. Initially, Enriquez did not follow Singha's order to surrender the arms of the Filipino peacekeepers at the position 68. The soldiers stood by their decision not to surrender their arms.
Colonel Enriquez did what is right and protected not only the interests of Filipino troops but the interests of the United Nations. Colonel Enriquez took a stand for our country, and it is just right that the leadership of the Armed Forces Philippines and our government will support him. And what Colonel Enriquez did was to defy an order that is against all logic, to give up your arms and put your own troops in danger. Now, if there's any investigation on the matter, we believe that Colonel Enriquez justifiably did what he had to do.
The AFP deducted that General Singha wanted to use the Filipino peacekeepers as bait in exchange for the freedom of 40 Fijian peacekeepers. Filipino peacekeepers were endangered for almost 3 days at the position 68 because of their refusal to surrender their arms to the Syrian rebels in exchange for the freedom of the Fijian peacekeepers. The United Nations has yet to identify the locations of the Fijian peacekeepers who were held hostage by the Syrian rebels last week.